and welcome back to the Diamond Report, where we talk about Blues baseball in and outside of the game. I had a fun conversation with Whitman Blues right-hander Russ Petersen. We're going to let you listen to here in just a minute. Next week, Cody and I will be back with all sorts of action and a whole bunch to talk about as we head to the final stretch of the Blues regular season. But for now, enjoy my conversation with Russ. Hey, Blues Nation, welcome back to Dugout Talk, where we venture off the field and take some time to catch up with the source, interviewing someone with Whitman baseball to get the scoop straight from the horse's mouth. Our guest today has been a fan favorite since he made his team debut in 2024 down in California against Pomona Pitzer, where he threw 5 shutout innings and immediately put the rest of the world on notice for what to look forward to during his collegiate career. He then went on to pitch to a 5-2 record with a 3.03 ERA as a first year, and that success has continued throughout 2025 and beyond. In 25, he moved to the starting rotation, made 11 starts, including his first collegiate career complete game, and secured his first team All-Northwest Conference honors as a sophomore. Now, as a junior, he's once again cemented in the Blues rotation, and he joins us now. Fans thrilled to have a chance to chat with Russ Petersen today. Russ, how you doing?
I'm doing great, Steven. I appreciate the kind words. I'm excited to be here.
Well, we're certainly excited to have you on. And again, we just mentioned I forgot to record the first time we started this, so you've heard that now twice. But you know, I mean, gosh, like it's crazy to think that you've already even almost been here for 3 full years. Like, do you even look back and think about like that first start down in Pittsburgh and go like, I can't believe that was almost 3 years ago?
Yeah, I mean, we were just in California this past weekend, and
Yeah,
our getaway day on Sunday was at Laverne, and I like had like a deja vu moment. I was like, because I just pitched the day before here, and I was like,
yeah.
I remember like being so nervous for my first start against Pomona, and then the next morning like having that like outing, and I was just like so relieved, and I was like, I felt like all my nerves had calmed, and I was like, all right, like I belong here, kind of moment.
I dig it. That's awesome. So, before we get fully into the collegiate career and what you're doing at Whitman and all that good stuff, we're gonna kind of take a jump back into the hot tub time machine for a minute. So we're gonna go back to childhood. When did baseball enter your world? Did you play other sports, have other interests? Has it always been baseball? Like, talk us just kind of a little bit, what was it growing up?
Yeah. I think like most kids, I had a pretty traditional route to baseball. I mean, 4 or 5 years old, I played t-ball like all kids and made my ways up. I played a lot of other sports in high school. I played basketball for a long time. I played that
Okay.
up until my freshman year of high school. So that was kind of something that I enjoyed doing in the winters. But I also, being from the Pacific Northwest, like I love to ski. So like that was an opportunity that I like to take in the winter and like, get my mind off baseball and just kind of like explore my outdoor interests. So I mean, baseball has always been a big part for me, but played a lot of other sports growing up.
And I do love that because and you kind of mentioned it previously, but the skiing part in particular, it's not something that they always want the baseball guys doing because it's right before your season started. And my last interview that I'd done for Dugout Talk was with Ben Parker, and he was a big skier too. So, but you guys didn't end up getting to play together. You missed each other by the year. But did you have any guys that you did that sort of stuff with?
Yeah, I mean, my freshman year, Billy and Beck McGuire were like two good buddies of mine, and like they took me skiing a handful of times, and it was like, as a freshman, like to be able to hang out with those guys and like share a common interest, it really helped like incorporate me into the team and like make those lasting relationships. I mean, when those guys come back for alumni every year, like it's great to see them knowing that like we shared such great experiences.
And it makes a ton of sense to me that the Colorado kid and the Boise kid would be the two that are also skiing. But now, and maybe this is my ignorance, where in the Port, because did you grow up in Portland area? It's like, where did you go to
Yeah.
ski in that area?
Yeah, so like Mount Hood's like an hour and a half
Oh,
drive.
Mount Hood. Okay, yeah, yeah, yeah.
And yeah.
Gotcha.
And
You
I went
were
to
you any
school.
good?
Oh, what did you say?
Were you good?
I feel like I'm not bad. Like, I mean, I'm not
Okay.
like throwing any backflips or anything, but like I held my weight. I mean, I've skied a long time, so my dad grew up skiing and taught me how to. So I mean, it's just my passion. I really enjoy it. It's one of those things that like when baseball's done down the road, like I know that I have something like that I can pick up and have a lot of fun with.
Absolutely. I grew up in Carson City, Nevada, so we were at the base of Tahoe, and like that was one
Yeah.
of those that like I I did it some. We took lessons. We would do it, but I was never as good at it as like I wish I would have gotten. Especially just like
Hmm.
having that resort, like
Yeah,
Tahoe and all the
100%.
mountains and everything. There's like I wish I was better to like go do like backcountry stuff at Heavenly or
Yeah.
Squaw or some of that kind of stuff. But it was baseball season or it was basketball season, and so that finding the time to go, and then again having coaches that were supportive of it was
100%. Yeah.
not always the easiest. Sometimes those are the ones where you go and you're not telling coach and hope everything goes okay.
Yeah.
Oh, too funny. So then kind of into the high school, baseball sort of becoming the priority or the focus. What were you looking at in terms of like recruiting? Was Whitman sort of always on the radar? I believe I also read in doing some research, you had high school injury that maybe kind of impacted things. Talks about your high school career.
Yeah, of course. So I think to like talk about high school, like it's important to start at the beginning, right? Like
Yeah.
COVID kind of impacted a lot of kids for like recruiting. I mean,
Yeah.
not gonna like play the whole sob story, but that definitely like shook things up a little bit. And so I kind of knew that I'd be pretty proactive in my recruiting like process. Like I knew that like I wasn't some kid that was throwing super hard or like had some standout trait. I mean, I was projectable. I was a tall, skinny kid, like like most kids are before they get to college baseball. But I knew I had to be proactive and like was like I really value my education and I just want to be able to, be a part of a team in college, prove to myself that I can do it. And so like Whitman was just naturally in the area and I loved the Pacific Northwest, so I wanted to stay around here. And it was just on my list of schools. And as soon as I met BK, like never met a person so caring before, and someone that genuinely listens to you and asks questions and like from the recruiting process, like from the first second I met him, like totally separate from all the other coaches I interact. Not to say that like anyone else wasn't a nice person, but like
Yeah.
I mean BK is like the greatest coach I've ever had. So like I mean that was like the
Well,
first thing that like helped me.
that's awesome. And so, uh, no, obviously, so by the time you're actually getting recruited and onto campus, things have kind of gotten back to a little bit more normal. Um, did you get to come visit campus before you committed? Did you do all that
Yeah.
stuff? What was your campus experience?
Yeah, so I guess I'll just like explain in a timeline. So I
Yeah.
met BK and Colby Waterlow, who I'm sure you know, but if listeners don't, he was our pitching coach the last 2 seasons. I had a great relationship with him. We met over the summer, and then I actually came on a visit the summer of my junior year. So there was like nobody here. It was
Yeah.
like, I don't know, Benny Ortiz. I don't know if I mean, I'm
Oh
sure you
yeah.
know him.
Oh yeah.
He, he was the
Benny's the
only guy.
best.
He gave me my visit, and so like it was like it was like walking around a ghost town. Like there was nobody here, but
Yeah.
so it was kind of a weird kind of visit. But like I knew Whitman was where I wanted to go, and it had everything that I wanted. It was a perfect distance from home for me, and I ended up actually committing. I think it was October 1st or around then, and I was the first kid in my class. I remember being the first kid to commit. And
Oh
then
yeah.
like being able to watch and like go on Instagram and look up the kids that committed after me. That was kind of fun.
That's cool. So you got to kind of like almost take on that team captain kind of role, like welcome, like you're part of my class kind of thing. You got some ownership there. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
So and so I mentioned it real quick, but I do want to know. So like in terms of your other high school career, like you did suffer some sort of injury, right? So
Yeah.
kind of what happened there and how did that impact things?
Yeah, no, it wasn't anything serious, but so in high school,
Okay.
as most high schoolers, like play the infield and play other positions. So like
Yeah.
we would play 3 game series in high school, and I would play shortstop
Okay.
on Monday and Wednesday, and then on Friday I'd pitch.
Okay.
And a couple weeks into our season, I get the bunt signal from coach. I lay down a bunt. I'm running into first base. The throw pulls the first baseman off the bag, and like to kind of cushion myself, I stick my hand out and I just break. I don't know if you can see it on my hand, but like the
Oh
metatarsal,
yeah.
and I broke it
Oh
on my hand.
wow.
Yeah. So that put me out for the majority of my junior season. And
Okay.
that kind of like, for college recruiting, your junior season and your junior summer is kind of like the most important one. And so
Yeah.
that kind of set me back a little bit. I was able to, go to all the camps I needed to in the summer, but like I didn't have any true like spring statistics to, talk to coaches about or like, hey, this is how my season went. So I kind of had to restart that process. But I think it taught me a lot of adversity, like, kind of like taught me to go out and get things for myself and like really have to work. And like if you have goals, like go out and commit to them.
I love that. Well, and especially too for you to talk about like you didn't really have the like eighth grade freshman year highlights, right? Because of COVID and some of that kind of stuff. And then you get to play for a year, then you hurt, and then you committed before your senior year really got going. So like, uh, did you ever talk to like Brian or Colby or anything in terms of like what were you recruiting me on exactly? Like, was that ever a convo, or it was just they saw enough and was good, or
No, I never doubted. I was never like, hey, like, are you sure you want me? No.
no, no, not okay, sorry.
No, you're good. But no, like they talked to me like, like you're exactly what we're looking for. Like tall, skinny, right-handed pitcher. Like I knew I had a whole bunch of work set out for me, but like I had that belief in myself, that I was gonna with their work and or with their help and with my work in college, just be able to go out and get what was in front of me and be the pitcher that I could be and the pitcher that I can still be for the rest of my career.
I love it. Well, and then so and you get to college too, and your first year here was also a year where the rotation, the weekend rotation was set and
Yeah.
stacked, right? Like you walk into Julian, Tay, and Wyatt all sitting there. Haas is also part of that group, and so I mean,
Mm.
coming in, like, did you have any expectations as a first year of like, I just hope I get some innings, or like what did you think was going to happen when you got here?
Yeah, I mean, shout out to all those guys. I mean, like Julian, Tejas, Haas, Wyatt, like those are some of the best people I ever met. So like they did the best job of like incorporating us younger guys, like showing us the standard of how this works and like giving us like the expectation of who we can strive to be. So like they were phenomenal mentors. I think for me, it was like coming in, I was like, I have to get better. Like if I want to play, like I can control how often I'm like what opportunities I'm given. So it was kind of like a narrow focus. Like I never, you know, I knew Julian was going to be the Friday guy. Like I was never focused on taking his spot, but I was focused on how I can help the team win. And like I said, like when I was given the opportunity to start versus Pomona, like I have never been so nervous in my life. Like as a freshman, like I remember looking back to that and like pregame, like I'm in the bullpen and like I'm watching Haas pitch before me, who's a guy who's in the Brewers organization now, and like he was nervous. So like I was like, oh my God, this guy's a junior. He throws like 95 and he's nervous. Like, how should I feel? But I mean, like that just speaks to like when you're in a game, like like there's not a lot going on up here. I mean, all that stuff needs to go out. You just need to compete. And so I think like training the whole year and really taking my process seriously, that like as soon as I stepped on the mound, like nothing was going through my head besides getting the guy out in front of me.
I love it. And obviously you succeeded at doing that. And now I don't know how much you've ever heard or listened or, family or even grandma. Shout out grandma. Grandma's the
Shout out,
best.
Grandma.
I love having grandma at all the games. So Cody and I are sort of famous that like we have fallen in love with your 12-6. Like that is a pitch that like I grew up in Nevada, as I mentioned. So like the A's guys of Hudson Mulder, Zito is my guy. So like I
Mhm.
watched him throw
Yeah.
the 12-6. I've always loved the 12-6. A lot of guys don't throw the 12-6 anymore.
Mhm.
Who taught you how to throw that pitch? Like when did that become kind of sort of a signature for you?
Yeah. So I think it's kind of been, I mean, like the way in which I develop pitches, it kind of changes, right? Like when I was younger, like it was kind of like, oh, like I'm learning how to throw a curveball for the best time. And then, oh, I get to throw with technology for the first time and like see how the pitch is actually moving. So
Yep.
like it's kind of been like a never changing, like never ending process of like, honing my pitches. But for me, for the curveball, like I throw from a really high arm slot. So
Yeah.
like super over the top, which gives me the ability to like really get on top of the ball. Because like if you're someone from down here and you're trying to spin a breaking ball 12-6, I mean it's just not going to spin as tight. So it's
Right.
kind of a pitch that, for me, that's like came naturally for me. Like, hey, in my mind, like I just think spin the like pardon my language, spin the shit out of the ball. Like
Yeah.
like that's a natural pitch for me to throw. So it's kind of like, and I mean it's got a really unique movement where it doesn't really move horizontally at all. It just kind of goes straight down, just like straight 12-6. And so it's a pitch that like it's my favorite pitch to throw. So like I mean, and it's also the easiest one for me, to be quite honest.
I love that too. So it comes natural. And especially because there aren't a lot of guys throwing it on a regular basis, especially. do you find that as you start to work on tunneling and some of that kind of stuff as you've moved up, like that it becomes sort of more fun, like you can sort of tunnel and cheat a little bit more with the 12-6 because you're
Yeah.
giving guys different vantage points?
100%. I mean, for me, right? Like you watch a million of my games, but when I miss with a fastball, like I miss up. Like
Yeah.
that's like my most common miss. And you know what's perfect? A perfect pitch to throw right after you throw a fastball on a guy's head. You throw a curveball that breaks this much and they just freeze and it's a take. So for
Yeah.
me, like it's really helpful because it's like my most common miss. Like that's not a wasted pitch because I can go to the curveball right after it. So
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
I love it too because especially right, like sort of the baseball, I don't know, cliches you want to throw it is like if when it comes to pitchers, is you tell them if you miss, you don't miss up, right? Like you don't want
Mhm.
to miss up, you don't want to miss in the zone. And so the fact that it sort of allows you
Mhm.
to be able to utilize kind of the I can miss up and it's going to be okay because I have something that's set up off of it. Like
Mhm.
I I think it's something that especially as more guys are looking to go sideways, like the
Yeah.
ability to kind of go over top and get the vertical movement is something that becomes a real value, sort of especially mixed into the middle of it. So I don't know if I've actually ever talked to you about it directly, but I
Mhm.
just Cody and I have been raving for years, so I would be remiss not having a chance to mention it here today. So and then so last year too, I wanted to ask you a little bit. So your summer ball experience, you got to go out pitch in the Rifkin League. What was that like in terms of first time? I assume anyway, first time kind of getting to pitch to wood, getting sort of the summer league experience. What was that like for you?
Yeah, so it was actually my second summer playing summer ball. So
Okay.
the summer after my freshman year, talk about experiences. I was in Spearfish, South Dakota with
Yep.
Cole Creep. Him and I went. So like talk about getting to experience a different part of the country. I mean, I'm the biggest proponent of summer ball. Like I love summer ball. It's kind of like in the moment, it's a grind, but like looking back on it, like one of the greatest experiences like of my life. Like being able to like live in a new part of the country, live with a host family, like
Yeah.
something that I'll look back on for years. So getting to go to Bethesda this past summer in the Cal Ripken League, like I was stoked. Like talk about Haas, the guy that we were just talking about, Jack Hostetler. Like he had been there 2 years prior to me, and like I get there and like they don't know anything about Whitman College. They don't know anything about where Walla
Yeah.
Walla. They know Jack because he pitched there and he pitched really well.
Yeah.
So head coach is like calling me like, oh, like Jack, because like he doesn't know my name. Like my name is Russell, but um, super fun experience. Like talk about like playing with a chip on your shoulder. I mean, the guys on that team, extremely talented, like great friends with all of them, but like pitching from Power Four schools. I mean,
Yeah.
our starters went to like Central Florida, Kentucky, like SEC, Maryland, like schools like that. And to like come from a school where I got to be like Washington State, no, not Washington, D.C. Like
Yeah.
it was a super cool experience because it's like no one knows about me. And like I just had the opportunity to, go out and pitch and really wasn't pitching with anything to lose. So it was a great experience and I had so much fun and I think I got so much better to be quite honest. Like the development I got playing against that talent was crazy.
And I also come from a background of having spent a lot of time in summer ball, mine mostly in the West with the West Coast League and everything. Like
Mm.
what can you tell people about sort of the summer ball experience that is just so different from high school ball, from college ball? Like
Mm.
what is it for you in terms of the summer experience that really felt like you benefited it or learned the most, or just what were the things you took away from it?
In summer ball, you it's the greatest opportunity to learn, right? Like in college baseball, like, and I'm not saying in college, I mean, I love college baseball, like
Yeah.
spring season, like, don't get me wrong. But in summer ball, like, you're signed to a contract for the whole summer, and like, you go out and you give up 6 earned runs, like, who cares? Like, you get to pitch in 3 days from now, and like, no one in the stands watching the game remembers the like horrible inning you had 3 days ago. Like,
Yeah.
like, you have the opportunity to control what you make of it. And like, I mean, the opportunity to like continue to pitch every week and like you can make the most of your opportunity and just learn so much is really what's great. And then not to mention like playing summer ball, like the relationships you form with guys is like so much fun. Like you get to meet some real characters playing summer ball. Like if I'm gonna be honest, like you meet some interesting guys.
Very different backgrounds, very different lifestyles. Yeah,
Yeah.
100%. Um, so in terms of obviously you're very involved with baseball and campus and being the life of the student athlete, but one of the things that really like to talk about and sort of highlight here, especially is the Division 3 model is
Mhm.
student is a very real part of that as well as the athlete. But so, what are some of the other things that you're doing on campus, whether that's school wise, on the side, job prep, career prep? What are the sort of things that you find yourself like doing or that you're doing outside of baseball?
Yeah, 100%. So here at Whitman, I'm an econ major and I'm doing a double minor in finance and data science. So kind of just trying to equip myself with the tools for the eventual day when baseball is no more and I have to join join the rest of the world in the working force. But no, I'm actually like this off season, so like, during the fall and the spring, I've kind of been doing a lot of like internship searches for next summer. So, a lot of job interviews, like stuff like that. And I actually, I'm working for this wealth management firm in Portland called Brighton Jones. I have an internship this summer, so I'm super excited for that
Awesome.
and just kind of like get exposure to like what it's like to work a real job. I mean, it's crazy. I'm 21. It was my 21st birthday last week, and like I've never really worked a
Hmm.
job in my life. So like I think it's about time that I start doing that. So.
That's huge. And so, and I know too, you do some of the Whitman Investment Fund group stuff, right?
Yeah.
How's that experience been?
Yeah, the investment company has been great.
Mhm.
I mean, that was like a great first initial experience to like just being around like finance language. Like just like going to those meetings and like meeting other members of the student body was a lot of fun. I mean, I know a lot of students in my econ classes that I've been around a lot and like going there with them and just, because like I think one of the things that's tough about doing baseball the last 2 summers is I haven't been around kind of like the language of the industry, right? And so like as
Yeah.
someone like me who's interested in, getting into finance and banking and whatnot, so kind of just like having the investment company here at school was just a great introduction to like, how to talk in an interview, like what's a stock option, like stuff like super
Yeah.
basic stuff like everybody needs to learn at some point.
Yeah. Every industry has its I mean, well, you're a pitcher, right? Like, I mean, there's a whole other language that comes alongside of that too. So, yeah, absolutely. And again, we're chatting here with Russ Petersen, and so Russ obviously season maybe haven't gone exactly the way that we wanted to up to this point, but Cody and I were also talking on the Diamond Report for part of this episode that's going to be coming out. Like, it's been a lot of close games this year. There's just a lot of one-run games, a lot of two-run games. What do you think that has done for the team in terms of sort of preparing for the rest of the way? That you guys are just day in, day out. It's you're in grind, you're in battle, you find yourself in tight games at the very end. Like, do you think that that's going to end up helping in the long run, or just kind of summarize the season, I guess, for me from that
Yeah.
perspective?
100%. I mean, you said it best. I mean, it's been a frustrating season, but also a positive one. Like,
Yeah,
I would be ignorant to stand here and say that there's not guys who have improved like so much this year. Like,
yeah,
I think about looking at us and like seeing like we're a pretty young team. I mean, a lot of
hmm,
the guys who come in and leverage situations out of the bullpen are guys who are pitching for like the second or third time ever in their college careers. So like
yeah.
I want to shout out them. I want to shout out all the guys who are new to college baseball and like the work that they put in has really been seen. So like I've been impressed a lot with, what the work the guys have been putting in. But as you're talking about with close games, it totally has been frustrating. I mean, to like from the outside looking in, I mean, I'm obviously playing in a lot of these games, but it almost feels like in the three facets of a game of baseball, there's always two going really well. And there's always one of those three that's not working. So like I think it's been really important for us as a team to understand like, hey, like it's not about pointing fingers. It's not about, you know, oh, our starter didn't give up 2 runs over six. Like he kind of got hit around, or he made a couple throwing errors in the infield, or man, we didn't really have great good ABs today. Like we didn't have good at bats. It's not about that. I think that these tough games have really taught us that like at the end of the day, like we're here to win baseball games and we have 5 conference series ahead of us. And like I don't know about the rest of the guys, but like I'm pretty excited for what's in front of us. I mean, two really good matchups, and I think we understand what it takes to really compete now. So I'm looking forward to it.
I completely agree with you, and I like I said, I think that one of the things that has really sort of caught me, and I love the analogy, talking about kind of the two of the three facets working is that. sort of compared it to my golf game, right? Like if I'm
Mhm.
good off the tee and decent with the irons, I can't putt that day. Or if I'm a bad off the tee, but my irons gonna be great, and I'm a fine. Like it's getting that all three of those sort of
Mhm.
working together at the same time to really pull it together. Because you know one of the things that I think has really emerged in the last couple of years too, that's as a pitching guy, you know the offense has been there. Like the runs are being scored. So like
Mhm.
I haven't I don't I've never asked this one either, but does that feel like when offense puts up a bunch of runs, does that feel like it lowers the pressure on you in terms of like, okay, I've got a cushion to work with, or is there more
Mhm.
pressure of like they've done their part, now I kind of have to go do mine? Like, where do
Yeah.
you kind of fall on what side of the fence on there?
That's an age-old question. I am a big proponent of saying that like pitching is one of the most mentally difficult things to do, right?
Yeah,
And like I I feel for everyone that struggles. I've had plenty of opportunities to pitch in my career, summer ball, high school, college baseball, where I'm up there and I'm pitching scared, right? Like I'm praying that like I get out of this inning as soon as possible. And so like I think that that's a difficult question because for me, like my goal as a pitcher is to pitch the same regardless of the score of the game, right? Like I want my process to be the same. So like to say that maybe like I feel more guilty if like we have a big lead or if we need to like be in a tight game isn't I wouldn't say that that really has much of an effect on me. I know if I can't speak for other guys, but for me it's like
yeah.
I want my process to be the same regardless of if we're winning by 15 or if we're getting no hit. So like and I think that that's one of the things that a lot of guys on our team are starting to understand that it's like results may vary, but it's about the process and the work that you put in that, you're the same guy every time you go out there and the same form of yourself chasing excellence. So,
I love it. And that's a great answer. Kudos to you. That's always been one that you talk about, but like I think that that's one that kind of I can understand and see sort of the both sides of the coin. So I really
mhm,
appreciate the idea of like, yeah, just don't let it affect you.
mhm.
Again, we're catching up here on Dugout Talk with Russ Petersen. So Russ, I got sort of some rapid fire stuff that I want to wrap up with you here today. So uh ultimate goals.
For career season, be more specific.
You tell me.
My
Wherever you want to
ultimate
go with
goal,
that.
my ultimate goal is to win as many games as possible and play as many games with my best friends as long as I can. So, be around the guys and win baseball games.
I love that. What's your favorite baseball memory?
Favorite baseball memory. I got two answers.
Yeah,
One that we touched on earlier, probably my first career start. I mean, like that was the culmination of a lot of things for me, and like being able to just go out and compete. That was awesome. But then my second answer, a more broad answer, is like bus rides with the team, like bus rides with the fellas, like going to and from the game. Like I don't know if there's anything better than that, to be honest, especially after you win.
what's your favorite pastime on the bus? What do you like to do?
Oh, Mafia, 100%.
Oh, you're a mafia guy. Okay, well, this is going to change rapid fire really quickly. Have you seen Traitors?
No, I haven't. No.
So on Peacock, there's a TV show called Traitors, and it's
Okay.
basically like a real life mafia game where
Okay.
they have three people that are the traitors and the rest are faithful, and the faithful
Hmm.
big wreck. Check it out.
Got it.
Let me know what you think. I think
For sure.
if you're a mafia guy, it's
All
like real
right.
life mafia in this
I'll
Scottish
write it down.
castle. It's my favorite.
Awesome. All
Um,
right. Duly noted.
big got big hooked on that one during the winter. What's your favorite class you've taken so far at Whitman?
Favorite class. I just took last semester, I took corporate finance with Professor Han. That was like probably the most applicable class I've seen to like, like really spark my interest in like a specific career field. Like we did a lot of like deep dives into like companies like balance sheets and financial statements and like that was like the first class that I really felt like I could see like myself making a living doing this. So,
That's awesome. I love that. Uh, coach or person that has given you the best advice?
ooh, coach or person. See, I want to say BK because like that's like the chalked answer. And if I don't think of something in the next couple seconds, I'm gonna go with that. I'm gonna shout out somebody because I want to. I'm gonna shout out Rylan. I
Yeah,
played with him for 2 years. I don't know if this is my like penultimate answer if I were to sit here and think about it for 20 minutes, but
yeah.
Rylan is someone that always put like baseball in perspective for me very well. He was a guy that like I mean, he didn't care what his ERA was, how outings went for him. Like he understood that like he had to come in pressure situations and like it was his job to like hold the game and like at the end of the day, like he didn't care who was having success, like he wanted to win. And like I really respected that and I respected the way that he reflected baseball.
Shout out Rylan. And I think he's still working in baseball, if I'm not mistaken. He's working for the Rangers right now. So
It is correct.
I love that. Uh, what's your favorite Whitman memory to this point?
Whitman, you said?
Yeah.
Whitman memory. All right, rapid fire. Every time it's spring break, we play hide and seek in the dorm halls, and that's a lot of fun because all the team gets to come together and hang out. So I love that.
I've never heard that before, but I love that.
Yeah.
Uh, and do you have any sort of pregame or in-game rituals that you do every time?
In game, I like to wear a certain color of cleats. So
Yep, your golds,
that
your yellows.
that's one for me. But before the game, I have this book that I read that was given to me by a couple of teammates, Ben Nielsen and Dylan Colvin. It's called Mind Gym. There's a couple chapters from there that I really like to read before I pitch. Just kind of like puts baseball into perspective and like you know kind of teaches you how to deal with pressure when you're experiencing it. And then sometimes I like to like watch my old highlights before I pitch. Like I think that's something that really gives yourself confidence. Like I'll scroll through like Instagram like posts and videos from like when I had a lot of success in Spearfish and Bethesda and just I like to like remind myself that like you are capable of this before games.
I love that. That's awesome. What's some of the music you're currently listening to?
Music I'm currently listening to. Talk about classes. We took me and a couple of teammates took like a music of 1991, but it was like a music of the 90s class and like
Yeah.
uh got put onto a lot of grunge music. So I mean I like
Oh,
listening to a lot of like Alice in Chains recently. So
oh, cool. I dig that. God, I can't
yeah.
believe 91 is like now being studied. That makes
Yeah,
me feel
that probably
old.
makes it
But
feel old.
oh, yeah, yes, it does. Well, that is that. Um, who, funniest teammate you've ever had?
Funniest teammate I've ever had?
Yeah.
Mm, um, I'm gonna say Tanner Coddington
Okay.
and I say that because twice now I've gone home for summer break, and Carl is a really good friend of mine. He's actually lives right next to me, but every time we text during the summer and we're like talking about how we miss being at school, and the first thing I always say is like I miss Tanner, like I miss like being around him. He's so unintentionally funny that he's a great person.
That that's such a classic bullpen guy too
Yeah,
situation because
100%.
I've gotten quite a few mocos that there's something to be said. The bullpen guys like they get to spend more time just making up jokes and
Yeah,
doing all that kind of stuff. So
yeah.
that's too
Pitchers are
funny.
weird.
Pitchers are, hey, left-handed pitchers especially as a
Yeah.
former one myself. So uh last question for you, and I'm referencing the flag there hanging behind
Uh,
you. So I'm a Pac-12 for life guy as a Washington State grad. So and I think
yeah.
I've seen and heard something similar from you too. Do you wish Oregon could go back to the Pac-12?
100%. I do not care about playing Rutgers on a random uh November weekend. I want Pac-12 after dark. I want the
Yes.
games scores of the games to be 50 to 45. Make
Yes.
football interesting again. We don't need to run the ball every play. I love Pac-12 football.
I miss Washington State Cal 70 to 67 at the middle
Yeah.
of the night. I am so with
Peak.
you. So
Yeah.
I love it. Russ, appreciate you joining me here today. It was great chatting with you. And yeah, we're recording this on Tuesday, so you're heading up to Pasco here pretty soon to go play the Dust Devils. So that should be a
Yeah.
super cool experience. And maybe we'll have you back to talk about that in a couple of weeks. So
I'd love to. Super excited for today. Excited for the guys and the opportunity to like play against pro ball players. As crazy as it sounds.
it's awesome. I love it. I think it'd be such a cool thing. So again, have fun doing that. Good luck this weekend, and we'll look forward to seeing you guys back at home next week against Eastern Oregon. Finally having you guys back in the friendly confines of Borleski. So appreciate
Looking
you
forward
joining
to
me
it.
today, Russ.
Thank you, Stephen. I appreciate it. It was a pleasure.